Hey, I'm John Cannell, founder of Preppy Kitchen, and today I have a special guest with me, actor Belissa Escobedo, who's on ABC's new show, The Baker and the Beauty. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, John.
I'm so excited to do this and to make this pastry with you.
Yes, oh my gosh, I've been looking through all of your posts on your Instagram, and I just watched some of your YouTube videos today. I really love them.
Do you love baking? Or is it all an act?
Yes, I absolutely love baking, and I feel so lucky that, my first show was taking place in a bakery.
So today we're making one of my favorite Cuban pastries. I think you like it too. Do you want to tell me the name?
Yes, it's Pastelitos de Guayaba.
Oh my gosh, I love the way you say that.
Thank you.
So for this recipe, you're gonna need some quick and easy puff pastry sheets, and we need some cream cheese, a little bit of powdered sugar, vanilla, a pinch of salt, an egg for the egg wash, then the magical ingredient that is guava paste. This stuff is so weird. It is really leathery out of the tin. Have you opened your container yet?
I have. I've never used this before.
So it's like a fruit roll-up, but really thick. But when you bake it, it'll melt together and become just amazing. It doesn't taste bad right now, but the consistency might be a bit off-putting if you just are used to dealing with jams and preserves and things.
Yeah, it feels a lot like those fruit roll-ups from Trader Joe's that I would always get.
Then you're gonna love this one. Just a little bit of flour for dusting your surface, and that's about it. Ready to get started?
Yes, ready.
Okay, so first off, we're gonna make the cream cheese filling situation. For that, we're gonna need 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. If it's a little cold, it's totally fine. This recipe is very forgiving. So just unwrap that package and pop it into your stand mixer.
Okay, so cream cheese is it.
So before we get started and turn this machine on, can you tell me about your character on the show?
Yeah, so Natalie, she is freshly 15 and she's the smartest one in the family, she likes to claim. But she's taking on a lot of roles, there's a lot of expectations on her, but for the most part, she's just figuring it out. All of us at 15, we're going through a lot, so she's doing it.
At least it feels like a lot when you're 15.
It does. It feels like the whole world is, against you, and high school is all it's ever going to be, but she'll get through it.
I love it. So right now we're going to add in just a pinch of salt. You could add like a quarter teaspoon. It kind of will weight the flavor a bit, so just a sprinkle inside.
Awesome.
Close that mixer, lock it up, and then just cream the cream cheese a bit. Just a little bit is all you need. You want to give it a head start before you add in the sugar and everything else. Do you bake a lot at home?
I do, especially during this quarantine. I've been baking a lot.
Crazy. Everyone is baking up a storm.
This new movement. I've especially seen a lot with sourdough bread. People are doing their own at home.
Okay, so right now I'm adding in a generous third of a cup of powdered sugar. If you like this a little bit sweeter, you can go all the way up to a half cup, but it's kind of just a taste. Just dump that right in.
A little bit of stuff right there.
Get it all out. Waste not, want not. We're gonna drizzle in like 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You can measure it out or you could eyeball it. It's totally up to you. Now we're gonna cream it up and you're just gonna mix it until it looks like all the sugar is in there, and then we'll pause, we'll scrape the bowl down a bit and just mix it once more. We want it to be nice and creamy and totally homogeneous.
Okay, perfect.
So mine, basically there, I'm gonna scrape the bowl down. Just push everything towards the bottom and mix it around a tiny bit with the spatula. How does yours look?
It looks pretty good. I think it's all pretty mixed up.
Perfect. Okay, now we're gonna transfer this to a piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you could use like a little Ziploc or plastic bag and we'll snip the tip off.
Perfect.
I'm super messy when it comes to filling piping bags, so I like to put mine in like a little glass. But you could also just fold it. Just make sure you fold it down all the way. And this is like the most complicated part of the recipe. From here on, it just gets easier.
Perfect. Yeah, this will definitely be a challenge for me too. I'm super messy.
Okay, so I'm gonna fill this piping bag up now and we'll set our delicious concoction of cream cheese aside.
Okay.
Did you do any research, like when you found out you had the show and everything else, like go to different bakeries in Los Angeles?
I already like grew up going to so many bakeries, especially like in East Los Angeles, like the panaderias, getting fresh like pan dulce and elotes. That is such a big part of my childhood. But I did get to visit Miami and visit Little Havana, and I went to a bakery there, and that was just so amazing. The pastries, oh my gosh. And that's what I love so much about the show. You know, they really do a good job of showing how much this family is so invested in their bakery and it's become such an integral part of their lives.
And the community, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna set our stand mixers aside now. We don't need them anymore. And we're gonna move on to either a cutting board, or if you cut on your counter, you could just use your counter.
Okay. Ready.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I have my puff pastry set aside for when I need it. You might want to take yours. Oh, you did. You took it out. Perfect. You know. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut my guava paste first, and we can then set it aside and have it ready for later. So my guava paste came in this giant tin. Yours comes in, is it in like a little container?
Yeah, in a little bag.
Even better because yours is like the perfect size. I have to cut mine down a bit. So we're just going to tip it out and cut it into like 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch thick slices. You don't want to be too stingy with the filling because that is the best part.
Yeah.
Taking this out, this giant fruit roll up. It smells so good though.
Oh my gosh, it does.
I love guava everything.
I used to not love guava, but really come to love it recently. So what's been your favorite pastry to bake?
Well, aside from this one, I am totally obsessed with eclairs. I could just eat them non-stop all day.
Ooh.
Okay, so once you have like, you know, kind of strips like this, we can cut them down a bit smaller later, depending on how we cut our pastries. But just, you know, just get a little bank of delicious guava paste ready. So the last bit of prep work, let's just make a quick egg wash. We're just gonna mix an egg up into a small bowl. So crack it open and whisk it up. Now, the pastry. Let's do this one piece at a time. So just take a little bit of flour and dust the surface you're working on. Just a light dusting will need. I'm gonna unfold these puff pastry pieces. Kind of have like a couple wrinkles in them. We're just gonna give them a little bit of a rollout. They don't need to be super thin at all, but we're just gonna like smooth it out, make it a tiny bit bigger. So rolling pin at the ready, and just roll it up a bit. Okay, so now we're gonna cut our pieces, just try to get like 9 equal-ish pieces. It does not be perfect. We're gonna give them a final trim at the end, and even if it looks crazy, it's still gonna look delicious. It's still gonna be delicious.
Perfect.
So roughly equal pieces, and you can use those fold lines left over in the pastry as a guide to help you out.
Are you just cutting in like rectangles?
Yeah, we're just gonna cut like squares or rectangles out. These are about like maybe 3.5 inches-ish. But once again, it could be basically any size you want.
Mine are gonna be a perfect example of how even if they're completely uneven, they'll still taste great. I definitely think Natalie, although I love baking, I don't think my character is a star baker. I think she's pretty messy, just like Noah. And in the first episode, Daniel and Noah actually make some pastelitos on screen.
Those are probably like the perfect from scratch version.
They definitely look amazing, yes.
So the next step is going to be to assemble them onto a baking sheet that we line with parchment paper.
Awesome.
Okay, so right now we can lay out like 6 of these little rectangles. Just give them a little bit of room in between.
They range from like huge to just super small.
After that, we're gonna go back to our cream cheese frosting and just like snip the tip off of the piping bag.
Got it.
Okay, we're gonna pipe a nice, generous layer of the frosting inside. It's okay if it leaks out when it bakes. That means it's delicious. I think that it's like better to go a little bit overboard than have it just be all flaky pastry. It has to be a nice bite every time. The only thing you wanna do is leave like a 1/2-inch border. That's what we're gonna add the egg wash. And it'll glue the pieces together to make like this. It looks like a ravioli before it goes into the oven, basically, if that helps. So just pipe it out. And you can kind of zigzag it or do whatever you want. That's perfect. So now we're gonna add on our guava paste filling, and you can kind of just like place it end to end. So cut a piece that you want, lay over that cream cheese filling, and then just piece it together.
So you just lay it right on top?
Just lay it right on top, and you can cut it down if it's too big or just tear it off. So do we have all of our guava ensconced pastries ready?
I'm so excited for the final product.
The next step is going to be to brush the egg wash on. So you're going to take the perfect brush to use and brush the edge. It's basically just going to glue everything together. Wait, can you tell me how it was shooting in Puerto Rico?
Oh, it was amazing. Puerto Rico, I had never been before, but just everything there, the beaches, the food, gosh, I feel like everything just tasted better on that island.
I'm so jealous. I want to go so bad.
You really should. The people there are so welcoming and they just want you to experience like the best part of the island.
I love that hospitality.
Yes.
So once your egg wash is all done, we're gonna pop that second piece on top and make our little, little raviolis basically, and just press down. And if you need to stretch it out, you can stretch it out a little bit, just so it meets the edges.
It's going okay so far, thankfully.
Well, I feel like you are actually a really good baker.
I was very similar to you growing up and was always following my mom around in the kitchen, everything she did.
Yeah, my mom would be like, just making recipes out of thin air, and like she never measures anything. Like, does your mom like do exact measurements, or is she just like this? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like you just eyeball it. That's my favorite one.
yeah, it's like, oh, thanks, mom, perfect.
Yeah, that helps.
So these are almost ready to pop into the oven right now. You have a choice. So I can't really see exactly like what yours look like, but you can go on to the next step, or if you want, you can use a knife and just clean up the edges a little bit. It's not so much to make them look perfect as it is to just really seal it down. So the knife will press down and kind of hold the filling in basically. So now we're gonna wrap this up and do an egg wash on top. Brush that egg over here. It'll make the top nice and glossy, and it'll also hold the sugar on.
And so the egg wash and the sugar, is that what gives it like that crispy, glossy brown on top?
Yes.
My favorite part.
Mine too. And when you pop these into the oven, I say 12 to 15 minutes, because like some people's ovens run a bit hot and some run a bit cool. So just peek in at 12 minutes and see where they're at. Okay. They go from being perfect to burnt really quickly. So I'm gonna warn you, that's the one thing.
Okay, keep an eye on.
Turbinado sugar, because this is like a brown big sugar, and it'll caramelize really quickly. So sprinkle the top. So if you just bake them right now, they're gonna puff up, which is fine. But if you score the top a little bit, it'll hold it down, which I think is nicer because it gives you more of a bite size. So just take a sharp knife and cut a little diagonal or 2 or 3 across the top. You don't have to go all the way through, but you can if you want. It's really up to you. So they're gonna go into the oven now, 400 degrees, towards the center, like center rack-ish, and just keep an eye on it after 12 minutes. Yeah, and that's a really good idea to cut the excess paper. So, into the oven and we'll be back in a snap.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, I think it's time to take a check.
Perfect.
Ooh, that is hot, but so golden and pretty. I can't wait to take a bite.
So golden. Oh my gosh. I love this little mini one that I managed to make.
It's the perfect one because you made the perfect pastries.
Thank you.
So you want to give it like a minute to cool off, and then it's time for a bite.
And now to taste.
I'm ready.
Ready? Let's go. Mm. Oh my gosh. Wow. That came out really, really good.
Guava paste, the cream cheese, the flaky pastry.
It's amazing. I think I'm never gonna stop making these.
Yeah.
They were too easy not to make every night.
You're going to be bringing the pastries in.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Next episode, it'll be me bringing in the pastry.
And add an extra title on as pastry consultant.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would love that credit. These are really, really good though. I cannot stop. Mm.
Thank you so much for joining me, Belissa. We had the best time. You are a total baking pro, and it's a pleasure to have you in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Now I can go and claim to everyone that I'm not just a baker on TV. I am a pro baker in life.
To everyone watching, make sure you tune in Mondays at 10 p.m. on ABC to see The Baker and the Beauty.
Yes, thank you so much. And also, if you love this recipe, you can find them on the Preppy Kitchen, along with a bunch of other amazing recipes that I am definitely giving a try during this quarantine.
Yes, eclairs, hello, you're gonna do it.
The eclairs, I'm gonna make that next.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi guys, thank you so much.